Well, let's go to Adobe for a few minutes. So we're kind of in the Gen AI era and the AI era. How is Adobe navigating all of this?
For Adobe, again, we see ourselves as one of the core anchors of how we see ourselves is that we manage the experiential data, and we build the world's content. That's how we think about it. Our digital experience products will help you track people that are on your site or off your site to help you build segmentation. But as they do that, there's a demand for more content, right? As I talked about, more people are generating more content now, and the pace of increase of content production is going through the roof. So we break it into three categories. First is with creative professionals. What generative AI is doing is allowing us to put things in our core tools in a way that we're giving our creative professionals even more superpower. I'll give you a small example of this. The world, most of the video content you see is flows through our tools like Premiere as an example. But often when someone is using Premiere to create content, they're trying to really create a vibe and an end-to-end experience so that really shows off your content. They might have a video clip of Shantanu talking for 20 seconds, and they may put some sort of background music track there. But if they don't match up, and you've got a 25-second beat where you want to change that, but you've got a 20-second clip that you want to sort of map to that, today you couldn't do anything, or yesterday you couldn't do anything. Now, you can simply drag that clip out, and it'll generate an extra 5 seconds of frames so that you can sort of match these things. And so, that's one example of hundreds of capabilities like that we're adding to our core tools, and that just gives creative professionals much more superpower. The second thing is the rise of agentic-based computing and the ability to sort of create your own content. We're clearly seeing a democratization where anyone and everyone is able to create this content, and we need to be able to enable them to create more content at scale so that it's not just the studio team that creates the content and does the storytelling, but everyone in the organization should be able to do that on behalf. Whether you're selling to B2B sales or whether you're B2C and you're trying to sort of build an audience, you want your employees, everyone in the company, being able to participate in that. And then last, but certainly not least, we see a demand for increased personalization. And I'll give you an example from our perspective. We have a very large moment around Black Friday, right? People come to buy Photoshop and these things, and we sell to consumers the way we do. For Black Friday, we'll create 70 or 80 hero assets. But by the time you start looking at personalization for language, for discount rates, for audiences, for preferences, and all of these things, we end up with, from 70 or 80 hero assets, we end up with 54,000 variations. So we can do much more personalization at scale to reach our customers, which shows a very significant impact in terms of conversion rates and engagement rates. And so that whole, what we call the content supply chain of taking what people have created and creating all these variations and getting them to the right segments, that foundation has also been a huge opportunity for us.